Don't cram 20 people on Zoom.
Fluorescent lighted office all day long. You probably are going to work from home.
Hello and welcome back to No Office, a podcast about work, technology and life from a remote company perspective. My name is Rafal and I'm joined by my good friend and CEO of this remote company. We call ourselves #NoOfficeCompany. And the company is Nozbe and CEO is Michael Sliwinski. Hello, Michael. How are you today?
Hey, Rafal. Good. We're recording on a different schedule, morning our time. So probably our American friends are asleep right now. But we decided to readjust our hours of meetings. We'll talk about it today in the episode. I'm good. I am already kind of feeling the Christmas spirit. And this is my last day of work, probably. Today is Thursday when we record it. And then tomorrow is Friday, the Mighty Friday. So one Mighty Friday, one good review, and I'm off to the races.
Yeah, that's nice perspective. I don't have so many free days left in this year, so I will continue to work next week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm good. I'm glad we changed our recording schedule so we can have coffee together while recording.
Yes.
And this is episode number 32. 32 gigabytes of RAM memory in my brand new MacBook Pro, which is not here.
Oh, man.
It was supposed to be here by now, but apparently something went wrong and the finance the finance part of the Apple company didn't start the payment process.
Oh, man.
And now it's moved to be delivered between 31st of December and 4th of January.
No ho for you, man.
Yeah, and I had very interesting experience calling Apple support, because on Tuesday, it was 14th of December. It was the last day of the delivery window that Apple gave us. So I called them and I had to wait 30 minutes on hold to get to talk to someone.
Your call is very important to us. Please wait and just wait and just wait.
Yeah, and two things about it, one good and one bad. The good thing is that they really put a nice music there when you're waiting. It's not like some shitty melody. It's really just normal music, like the kind of music they put before the Apple keynote starts. When you open the stream,
so they have a whole Apple Music playlist for you.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah, so it's so experience is better than normal waiting on hold. But they gave me an option. If you want to talk in English, you can press 1 and connect immediately. Yeah. So I did that. Yeah, and the English person told me, "Oh no, it's the Polish market order, so I need to switch you back to the Polish person."
And put yourself at the end of the line.
Exactly, probably yeah.
Or as they say in Britain, queue, at the end of the queue.
Queue, yeah. Yeah, so that was the experience. Yeah, and now the delivery window is moved to the New Year's Eve.
But this is really weird. We ordered almost at the same time. Actually, you ordered earlier.
Yeah, 1 week earlier.
One week earlier than Radek, a MacBook Pro. Both went through my father, our finance guy. Both were paid almost immediately. And I mean, the payment data and everything. So there was really no glitch on our part. They have
because Apple is a nice company and they charge you only when the product is ready to ship.
Yes.
They are not the shitty company that you pre-order something and they charge immediately and they ship it in 3-4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is nice, but apparently something went wrong, or I don't know, like the lady on the other side was very nice, but couldn't tell me what was the reason. But she just
So
contacted. Yeah, she just made a ticket for the finance guys.
So, just to tell you that I really know what you feel, because if you remember, I felt the same thing last summer. I mean, this summer when I was getting my iPad Pro, it was already like way past the delivery window when it arrived. I ordered it in mid June. It was supposed to come in the second week of July, and at the end of July, I was going for a short trip to Germany, and
Oh
and
yeah, I
the
remember.
day before this trip to Germany, at the end of July, my iPad Pro came. So it was really like last minute before my 2 week trip. And I was so happy that they managed, but I was so frustrated. I called them also several times, I remember, on the Apple support, and they couldn't tell me anything. They just said, you have to wait. That's it. They didn't even tell
Mm.
me that there was just some glitch between finance or whatever. They just said you have to wait. But I think in my case, it was the problem with the iPad Pros being just backlogged. Like there were just many orders, and they just didn't keep up. But they should have updated the page, but they haven't. Like, it was the 20 something of July and was still saying on my page it's going to arrive between 13th and the 17th of July.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I really know what you feel, because, and especially when you want
yeah,
your
and
new toy, you want your new completely new thing, just like in my
yeah.
case.
I've already sold my iPad Pro with Magic Keyboard.
Exactly, you see. and,
Yeah,
and
so my only mobile computer right now is this iPad Mini. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, it's a tricky thing. So I haven't sold my iPad then. Anyway, my iPad went down to my daughter, and she loves it. Of course, she has the iPad Pro 11-inch with Magic Keyboard and with Apple Pencil, so she is in love with this thing. But yeah, so this is what happens when you order stuff.
Yeah, about selling iPad Pro. I
Hmm.
put it on sale together with Magic Keyboard as one
Bundle.
bundle. Yeah, and it was hard to sell it. Once I put it separately as separate offers, then after 2 days it was sold.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So apparently people prefer to just buy the iPad or buy the Magic Keyboard, not both.
Yeah.
Which I totally don't understand, because really, I've already said it on the show several times. I'm in love with this machine, and I'm in love with the Magic Keyboard. This is so much joy, this new iPad. And I just, like, this keyboard wants me to type. It wants to be typed on. It's tickling my fingers. It's so good. I really love typing on this thing.
Yeah. I really loved my Magic Keyboard for iPad Pro as well. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm still getting prepared to update my setup, to waiting for this MacBook Pro. Yeah, and because as we talked in some previous episodes, I was counting on this universal control feature in macOS that Apple is supposed to ship this fall. But now it's delayed, and it's officially
Yeah.
on Apple side. It says it will be shipped in spring 2022. So it really sucks.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't be able to test if my assumption that I could use my iMac as my second canvas. I wouldn't be able to test it until spring. So yeah, kind of sucks. Yeah, and I was starting to figure out what do I need for my MacBook Pro to use it here in my home office. What do I need to connect to it? And actually, I need to have a USB-A port to connect the camera via Camlink, and Ethernet because I want to be on the cable while doing live streams.
Yeah.
Not because of the internet speed, but because the delay is not that much on the cable. So yeah, and I can use this full HD monitor that I have to use it. It has USB hub via USB-C, so I can connect it. But I have only one USB 3.0 with USB-A type port to connect the camera, and I have nothing to connect Ethernet.
Ah,
Yeah, so probably I will need to buy an adapter, and there's no official adapter from Apple available from USB-C or Thunderbolt to Ethernet.
yeah, but the ones that are on sale, I have one from Ugreen. It's fantastic. It's very good. I have two of those, and
Yeah,
they work very well.
yeah, like they work very well, but I saw the one from Ugreen or Green Cell. Maybe that's the same. I don't know. Anyway, at the product page, they say that this might not work very good on macOS Monterey 12.0, and it should be fixed in the future updates.
Well, so I can tell you that from my experience, the adapters that I have work very well both with the MacBook Pros, but not Monterey. I haven't tested Monterey.
Yeah.
I don't have a MacBook Pro with Monterey here, and also with my iPad Pro. So it's my regular adapter if I want to, for example, just connect wired to my router to just do some diagnostics, for example. So I just take my iPad, connect it with this dongle and the cable, and it works very well. So no complaints on that side.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you don't need an official Apple, branded.
Yeah, but I would always want to have an option. Okay, but we will see how it was. Actually, I have USB-C to digital audio video, so with USB-A and HDMI port. So maybe I can somehow use that and have some adapter from. Yeah, but anyway, I still need to buy an adapter to Ethernet.
There you go. So Dongle Town
and
episode
when I was
number
researching like 4K monitor options, only Philips has monitors with Ethernet port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really very popular, the ones with the Ethernet port.
Yeah, and monitor options are really not that great. Okay, we will see. What I'm gonna do.
I know it's not purest thing, but my wife is really happy with her 27 4K display. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the 4K with 27-inch wouldn't be like awesome, but would be good enough to be sharp enough that my eyes wouldn't see any difference.
Yeah, and the one that we have, I have a Thunderbolt cable to it, so I just connect it to my iPad, and it both charges the iPad and just mirrors the iPad screen. And of course,
do you remember which model you have?
Yeah, I'll send you we can post in the show notes. But it was the one recommended to me by our friends from our Nozbe team, by Leon and somebody else. So I just went with their recommendation.
All right. So yeah, that's it. Still waiting for my beloved MacBook Pro.
All right, this is the suffering of technology enthusiasts.
Okay, last episode we talked about how we cancelled our design fight meeting and go more async with the communication about design. And yeah, we have some more changes for in our meetings schedule.
Yeah, so this is what I like about the way we work. And we have these quarterly offsites, the quarterly meetings with, and then every quarter, because of these meetings and because of the feedback that we get, we do change some things. We do make some adjustments. And I like making adjustments every quarter instead of every year, because you just forgot how it was if it's just a year. So every quarter is for me the best feedback loop, because it's already 3 months in, which really 3 months is not that much of a time. And then but it's long enough, but it's short enough. So every quarter, a part of my quarterly review is to review my weekly schedule, how my week goes, if there is anything I can improve, if there is any meeting or any other time slot that I'm using wrong, or for example, in my case, in here where I live, in autumn and in spring, it's very nice to go out to do some running in the middle of the day, at 2:00, at 2 p.m., because it's the warmest.
Yeah, in winter season.
Yeah, it's the best time. I know Early morning is the best, but not in winter. In winter,
Yes.
it's just freaking cold. So really, from autumn to through winter to spring, the best time to go out for a short run, just to do some sports, it's in the middle of the day. That's why I really like to readjust my schedule so that I can have like at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. sometimes 1 hour to just go out, go for a run, go back, take a shower, and continue working. So so based on all that, and based on your complaint that you had too many meetings on Monday, which was true, we decided to completely like change the way we do meetings, and we have so
Like not completely. It was
yeah, not completely,
just
but
adjustment.
adjust them. And now we actually do something which we always said we wouldn't do, but we start almost every day with a meeting. So we have a meeting at so in my case, I can say that I have a meeting every day, Monday through Thursday at 10:30 a.m. So 10:30 to 11:30 usually. Usually they're just 1 hour, maybe a little bit more, but usually 1 hour. So this way, in the beginning, I have my breakfast. I mean, I get my kids to school. I have my breakfast. I have some warm up time. I can prepare for the meeting. Then I have the meeting. So it's really good to have this time to prepare for the meeting because meetings should be prepared. And then after that, at 10:30, I have the meeting. On Monday, I have our directors meeting, so our leadership meeting. On Tuesday, I have marketing meeting. On Wednesday, I have our business analytics meeting with Tom. And then on Thursdays, every other Thursday, I do this. I have meeting with all of you guys, and with Rafal, of course.
Yeah.
So and then on Friday, no meetings because Friday is Mighty Friday. So come on. So and then at 12, after the meeting, I have some time to calm down and relax and have maybe brew another coffee. And then at 12, from 12 to 2, I have a constant block of core hours. The core hours concept, I wrote about it in my book. We'll link in the show notes, and we also talked about it with Radek on the podcast. So it means every day from Monday through Thursday, so 4 days a week, from noon to 2 hours straight, I'm working in focused mode. I have one topic each Friday. I choose a topic, and then through these days, I work on this one topic, and then from 2 p.m. onwards, I might go do some sports. I might have additional meeting if I want to. I might have feedback time for my Nozbe team. So after 2 p.m., I decide what to do. So very often after the core hours focused session, I go for a run or I do some other sports, and then I get back to work to do some feedback and get back to the team. So this way, my week is better structured, I think.
Yeah, like I had a very similar schedule, weekly schedule. I've also planned this core hours, but I don't plan like one topic for the whole week. I just plan 2-3 topics per week. So
Okay.
I want to make sure that I have appetite only for like 1 or 2 core hours per topic, 1-2 days per topic. So I think I want to try this if it motivates me to really deliver something that already adds value and can be asked for feedback and move forward.
Yeah.
So this is what we learned about. It actually works for our product development process. We will talk about in a second. That like setting this appetite, it really makes you triggers you to make good decisions to deliver something.
Exactly. And so that's why it's really I really recommend evaluating your meetings on a quarterly basis. Just make sure. And Rafal, I think you're happier right now with the new meeting schedule that you don't have the Monday completely swamped with meetings, right?
Yeah. I think that with current schedule, it's like perfect. Again, we have that many meetings that we have appetite for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not too much. It's less than we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's really nice because it leaves a lot of a lot of space for first deep work in core hours, and second for feedback as asynchronous feedback.
Yeah, exactly. So really, and we are creatures of habits. So it's really good to structure your week, to really think about this. I think I stole this idea from Michael Hyatt, the idea of the ideal week. So how would my ideal week look like? And and just and of course it's never ideal, it's never perfect, but having this framework helps you know what
Yeah,
to do.
this week is totally mess for me because like first of all I had a booster shot of vaccine,
Okay.
so I was a mess on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I got some cold.
Ah.
And actually my fiance also got some cold, but we do some antigen tests. It's not COVID, so don't worry. It's just a normal cold. So yeah, it's not perfect. I wasn't able to do like core hours on Tuesday, but still, like the schedule you should. It's good to have this perfect schedule that you are trying to optimize for, but it's if you don't achieve that, that's fine. Just move
Yeah, I
on.
mean,
Yeah.
only this week, it was the first time. I haven't done core hours in a very long time. So, and I missed it. So this week I tried. And for example, on Tuesday, I was like in such a procrastinator mode. Like it was 12, I haven't started yet. 12:30, I was still doing some feedback and some other things that I wasn't supposed to do. At 1, I was still doing that. I was like, all right, I feel so guilty now. Let's drop it. Let's focus on the core hours. So I started really late. I started at 1 o'clock, 1 something. But then I pushed through and I worked until I think 3 p.m. On the core hour. So I did spend 2 hours on the topic. But it's like, you have to still get back to this muscle memory, to this, habit of this is the time to start. Let's go. Let's do it. And it's hard. That's why I really want, again, start next year doing core hours regularly so I get back into this habit of delivering weekly some really good output in my core hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of habits and like morning rituals, I see that Roy Barbary is saying hi from USA, Tennessee. So that's pretty impressive. Hi, Roy.
Right, good to see you. Good to see you. Have some coffee on us.
All right, so wow, we are already recording for 22 minutes. So maybe let's take a break here.
Let's give the microphone to Mike and Pierre.
Yes, because NoOffice podcast is sponsored by Nozbe Teams, a to-do app that helps small teams do great things. Let's hear what Nozbe customers say about the product.
We tried different project management tools for the first couple of years when I was with the organization I currently am, CCMA. And then we realized that we just need really one place where we can communicate, where we can share projects, where we can think in written form, where we can give each other feedback. So we tested a couple different things, and eventually we settled with Nozbe Teams. And it's been really fun to see the software mature and just get better and better. The data security, I know the company is totally committed to improving the product. For us, it's simple. We have some members of our team who are very tech savvy and some who aren't as tech savvy. So to find one tool that actually is usable for all those is not easy. We did dabble in a couple of competitors and they were just too much. Too complicated, too many features. What our team needed was something simple, reliable, trustworthy, something that was fun and attractive and enjoyable to use. And so Nozbe Teams has really fit for us. It's met that sweet spot. It's reasonable. We're a nonprofit, and so the price is right. It's easy to add members. I just added somebody yesterday. It was no big deal. I think I went to the 5-person plan to 6. It was not a big deal, so that's nice because it's flexible for us. It just gives us a place to park everything, and it works for us. So we don't want to be emailing within our team. We're not perfect at that, but we want to cut down on that. We want to cut down on interruptions during the day. And so I'll try anything that will help accomplish those two things. So for us, Nozbe Teams really fits that need that we have as a small team.
All right, that was Mike St. Pierre, our customer, and
If you go to blog.nozbe.com on our blog, there is my full interview with Mike about his productivity summit that he just recently launched, and you can still get the recordings of it. It's really, really good, and when you pay for it, the payment goes for good causes. So make sure to check it out. But like when he was saying that about Nozbe Teams, and I just asked him a simple question. I said, Mike, can I use it as a testimonial? It was so authentic. It was fantastic. So we just cut it out from the interview just to put it as a testimonial.
Yeah, that's really great. We have more and more those customers who agree to record for us testimonials. So
yeah,
we can use it as ads inside podcast. That's really nice. Okay.
And it's just so much better to hear from somebody else. Like, that we are not the ones selling Nozbe Teams is the best. We know it's the best. We spent our whole life building it, but it's just so much better when somebody else recommends it. So yeah.
All right. So today I wanted to talk to you about our product development process, as we kind of talked about it in episode 13.
Mm-hmm.
It's called No Roadmap.
Yeah.
But I want to add to it the things we learned from with this time. It's like 10 months from the episode 13. And I'm really glad how it works right now. So, and I was procrastinating on writing it down as our product dev process as a formal document in our wiki.
Okay.
And I want to also have it somewhere on our help page, or maybe as a blog post, to be transparent with our users, so they know how we work. And I was procrastinating on it, so I decided, okay, let's talk about it, and based on that, it will be much easier to prepare those kind of written form content about that. Yep. So I want to do it because, as we said many times on this episode, transparency is very important in no office company.
Yes.
But also transparency to our users, to our customers. So this is why I want to do it. Okay, so basically, to remind you, we work in 5 weeks cycles. So that means that every 5 weeks we have a retrospection with our development team and designers. And we have a retrospection, then we plan the next cycle, what we're gonna do, and that's the whole planning. There is no roadmap. There is just product vision, like based on those commandments. We also talked about it in previous episodes. And every 5 weeks, we just like the development team has a retrospection. So every 5 weeks, we do some small improvements of the way how the process works. And with leadership team, like you, Ivona, Tom, Radek, we plan what are the priorities for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we have the portfolio of options. So we have, basically tasks with descriptions of features we want to do, maybe eventually in Nozbe Teams. And because of that, we can choose from this portfolio of options. And because we plan every 5 weeks, so every cycle, the good thing about it is that every 5 weeks, we also incorporate new feedback. So this way, like there's a trick for you, our users. Write stuff to us, like write us feedback, which features you would want in Nozbe Teams and why, and give us the whole story. Like not just I want this feature, but I want this feature because I want to work like this, because my flow normally is like this, and just give us the whole spiel, the whole example. Even give us an example like of a real project in your company, how you would do it, and which kind of feature would help you, or you think would help you get there faster. This way we can evaluate it. And this way, every 5 weeks, we can choose from this portfolio of options based on not only on our gut feeling and on our, vision for the product, but also based on the feedback from customers. Like if we see a customer pushing for several customers, not one customer, but several customers pushing for some features or pushing for some direction. Like, we need this and not that. Then we see maybe we should reprioritize. Maybe something we thought we would build later, we could build now. And then that other thing could go for the next cycle. So really, this gives us the flexibility of not having like a set in stone roadmap for the whole year or beyond, but just choosing from the portfolio of options and choosing and feeling feeling the room to see what people really want, what our users really want, what they really need.
Yeah, and if I go through our features request projects, when we gather this feedback, like the most desirable features, the most of them are already implemented or being in the works. So that's nice. And yeah, when I do a planning, before I ask you leadership team for feedback, I also review like this feature request project. I review support tickets project, lesson support tickets if there is something important there. And during the cycle, sometimes I got asynchronous feedback, for example, for Livona. Oh, Rafal, this is important. Let's make sure we plan it for the next cycle. And then I have this special tag that I mark this task with. So once I prepare like input for you guys to give me feedback on what's important, I can point you to those tasks, so you can make a decision. And yeah, and everyone in leadership team gives me like 2-3 top priorities. I review them. And then I need to see the holiday plans for our development team for the next 5 weeks to see what appetite we have available to spend. Yeah.
How many work hour days we have.
And I review these priorities you gave me and see if they are ready for implementation. So are ready for developers to work on, or they need some shaping up. So design path. So we have like dev path and design path. And as we said, we really don't need this roadmap or backlog, because what we learned that important topics always come back.
Yes, they do. And, we really I'm really proud of our customer support team, our customer success team, now we call it. So really write to us. We respond very quickly, and we do listen to everyone. Like, it doesn't mean that we will give you a response, yes, we'll do it now, but we do listen. And that's why, as you said, things resurface every time. Like but especially, and this is the best part, this iteration of 5. So not only the iteration of 5 cycles. Remember, we ship our app every week. We have shipped 45 versions of Nozbe Teams in this year, right? 45?
Yes, 45, I think. Yeah.
Yes. So we ship every week. So the improvements are coming up all the time to Nozbe Teams. And based on these improvements, very often we get new feedback from customers. And that's what I like about this cadence. Like, we ship something, we get feedback. We ship something, we get feedback. It's fantastic. Like, it's just so quick. It's so much better than like, preparing a feature for half a year and then, announcing it. And because of that, like, everything has changed. We don't do versions like version 1, version 2, version whatever. There is a version of year dot number and number of the week. And that's why we are right now on version 2021.45 of Nozbe Teams. And also because of that, we announce features a little bit later. Like, they have already been shipped. People have already been using them. We already got the first feedback, and then we announce the feature on our product vlog, on our blog. Like, we do it a little bit later. And by the way, just heads up, the multi-team feature is a killer. People really love it. We already have several customers using multi-teams and using several premium teams on their accounts, because they see that they can divide the work in personal style, the different departments and stuff. So it's like the multi-team feature, man. We just analyzed it. It's a killer.
Yeah, but the one main thing we learned from doing this kind of process for almost a year is that we really, as always, if it's possible, and very often it is, we start very cheapo with the feature.
Yeah.
For example, we usually set 1 week appetite to have for front-end and back-end developer to prepare the basic version of the function we shaped up, but we shaped it up on really high abstraction level. We just shaped up what should be possible to do by a user, how user flow looks like, and how user flow is like going, but not UI. We don't at this level we don't shape up UI elements yet. We just give it to developers, and then they figure out how to do it, how to prepare something functional for us to test on dog fooding. Yes, and this is really great, because often it happens that after this we decide, we test it, use it for 1-2 weeks, and see, this actually really adds already value. Let's ship it and then improve it later. Or maybe, okay, to ship it, we will need just a small improvement to make it shippable, and it's 1-2 days of work. So the developer who developed it usually in the next cycle will find some spare time to finish it up, and because they are owner of this topic, the developer, they are very motivated to deliver it to the shippable state.
Yeah, that's a very good change that we did. That every feature decided for the next cycle has the feature's owner. So one developer owns the feature. Is the CEO of the feature, So this person is responsible for the feature. We have one status task. They mention us in the task, and this way we can really see the progress. In the status task, they report the progress on the feature. Plus, of course, they prepare other tasks in the project. So every feature has a different project in Nozbe teams, and it's amazing. I mean, I think this, like in every leadership book or every management book, they repeatedly tell you, ownership is key. If somebody feels like an owner, they feel differently about things. And it goes to things, it goes to people, I'm sorry, and it goes to concepts. So really, if a developer feels like an owner of the feature, CEO of the feature, they really take good care of it. They really care about it. They really ask for feedback. They really feel responsible for delivering it and feel proud when it's shipped. So it's like the whole mix of feelings of being an owner. And I think this part is really amazing that we have that.
Yes, and I'm really glad, because I'm no longer my effort is no longer needed during the cycle to giving a feedback and make product decisions, because we make decisions after it's shipped to dog fooding. Only that, only then. And at the beginning of the cycle, we just have a kickoff meeting where me, designer, and 2 devs, like backend and frontend, or only frontend or only backend, depends on feature. But one of them always is the leader, the CEO of the feature. And just we make sure that this shaped up document, like usually comment in a Nozbe Teams app, that we are all on the same page, and that the project team and the owner of the feature understands what needs to be done, and then they are on their own, and they can make a product decision. They can cut the scope, etc. And many times they learn how to design UI based on the components we already have in the app. And if we decide that UI is not good enough, then we ask Hubert, our UI designer, to prepare specs to improve it. But that will be done as an improvement later in the future cycles.
But again, this is the best part. Like, they first built with the blocks that we have. So it's like building with Lego. You first build with something that you have, and then later you see it and you're like, it could be improved. It could be a little bit slightly better. You could do something here and use a different block, or maybe design a different block or whatever. So it's like you build with what you have first, and then later you improve upon it.
Yeah, and that's really nice. And as I said, that many times we just ship to production like this cheaper version because we decided it already adds value to our users. But sometimes it requires more work. For example, we have on dogfooding features like team comments, or we change the way on dogfooding how repeat tasks works and comments inside of them. But we decided it requires more work to be shippable, but it hasn't been prioritized yet. Or recently, when we had design fight meeting, we discussed time needed feature. And this is the kind of feature that really requires UI work first. It's not possible to implement it cheaper. Like sometimes it's like our cheaper approach is not applicable for 100% of things we can do, but once it is applicable, it works very well.
Yeah. So that's one thing. But one of the things that we discussed during this retrospection and this quarterly also feedback loop, we decided that we should use the cheapo also for design. So sometimes we should implement a very cheapo feature just to see where it goes before we actually design it. So like there's one particular feature. I'm not going to mention it right now not to get everyone's hopes up. But there is one particular feature which I wanted to have implemented quickly on our dogfooding. So just for us, just to see if the basic premise, so the basic mechanism of this feature would actually work. If this is something that would change our habit, change the way we do stuff, before we polish it out. Just to see, if it works. Because I was just tired of just designing it and thinking about it and, like in abstract, in theory. So we decided that we should also have appetite for these kind of experiments, just to launch something that we might not ship at all. We might just take away from us back, but launch something internally just to see where it goes and to see if it's really something that we would miss if we take it away,
Yeah, but as I mentioned, this repeat tasks and how comments appear in the recurring tasks.
Yes,
this is the perfect example. Like we really spent a lot of time of designing how it's supposed to work better, and we cannot find a final conclusion. So we implemented some cheaper assumption, and we learned from this.
We don't like it.
Yes, we don't like it, but there are things that aspects of it that we like it, but as a general we don't like it. So it's not shipped it, and this is really great. What we can have, okay, let's have a 1 week or 2-3 days appetite to just explore it, but because once you can click physically see it working, the basic concept, then it's you learn so much more about that, and you can really make further decisions more easily.
And there's another thing that I wanted to discuss with you, Rafal, which I think we haven't discussed. So you'll be surprised. So I was like on the recent QS meeting. QS is our quality support meeting. We'll discuss it probably in the future. But the idea is that I get lots of feedback from the customer support, like what people really want, what people really are struggling with. And the thing is that, for example, Nozbe Teams app is already past the point that it's a very usable app for us. So it's already a very usable app for us. Like we've been using it for the last 2 years from the very beginning, and we suffered through like its shortcomings. But now we don't have that many shortcomings, like our team. But there are shortcomings that still are part of the vision of the product, but there are features which we wouldn't use so much, but our customers would. So they keep on sending us these feature requests that, in our case, not really that necessary, but we see the point. Like we see that it makes sense in their context, right? For their industry. So we would need to, like in really like every cycle, incorporate more like features requested from customers, features that might not be so interesting for us. And I was thinking that maybe with that we could think about expanding our dog fooding program. So to have like 3 steps, have like a step of dog fooding for us. Like, so this is our app with all the, dog fooding stuff. So they're just all the cutting edge. But then if we know we can ship something to customers to show them, um, uh, we could have like a dog fooding for customers. And these customers could, the idea is this: they would have the normal production app, but they could, explicitly, this one app, not their account, but this one app, or maybe their account, I don't know. But like they could switch to like tester mode, because some of our customers have expressed this thing that they would want to test early features before they are shipped. So we could enable them, and we would tell them, guys, this is these are not features that this is not the final state of the features. These are experimental features, like so really experimental stuff.
Yeah, the things might change.
Things might change, or might be taken away from you.
Yeah,
so,
like Apple does with beta of
Exactly.
iOS and macOS.
Exactly. So this way we could have like a dog fooding for customers, because then, for example, we can tell a customer who requests a feature for kind of let's say their industry, and we think it's a very good general feature for everyone, but the request was from them. We can tell them, man, it's been shipped to customer dog fooding. So if you switch to that mode, you can test it out and let us know if this is what you wanted, if this is what you feel. And this way they could test it before we ship it for everyone.
Yeah, like we could have, like, I would call it just a beta version, because like as Apple showed us in beta, things might change. It's not like
yeah, exactly. Like this summer in the beta version, there was a big ooh-ha-ha about Safari and stuff.
Yes.
And they have really iterated on it, based on the customer feedback.
Yes,
so
and it proved that the process of beta works actually very well.
Exactly. So I think next year this will be our time to really think about it and really design this kind of beta program for our customers.
Yes, we already talked about it with the development team, and because it would add some additional effort to our weekly release schedule process.
Yeah, complexity.
So we really need to make sure that it's not it's done that our weekly release schedule wouldn't be hurt. So probably it will start only on web first, and later native apps. But yeah, this is something for the next year to improve. I would also would like to improve transparency, as I said at the beginning of this segment. And I want to make product changelog, so our release notes, to be more user friendly and more marketing friendly. So we can actually have those announcements of features earlier, and we could also, because what we learned for almost 2 years of shipping Nozbe teams, that we are really good at shipping, because we shipped 45 versions of Nozbe teams this year. Yeah, so we are pretty good at it. Like finally, because in Nozbe Personal it was the whole process, and it was a mess. Like to ship a Nozbe Personal update, like it was the whole week for me to work on. Yeah. I couldn't work on anything else. And what we learned from this, we implemented in Nozbe teams process, and it really, I really like how it works. And I think I could slowly start improving this product changelog, and even incorporate some stuff that we have like this in this beta channel we would have, or we are testing on dog fooding, and we are comfortable with sharing this, but we are working on this.
Yeah, I was wondering, like maybe what we should, I can help you with that. Maybe we should really post the changelog.
Like many companies, many small companies like ours does that.
Yeah, exactly. We should be more transparent, and then maybe, as we mentioned, like we have already this new news segment in Nozbe Teams, so you can see the latest blog posts related to Nozbe Teams in the feed, so you can read about new features and all that stuff. But over there, we want to add this additional changelog, so people can see what happened since the last version, and this way every week they can read something new in the app, and not somewhere on the help page somewhere else.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, because currently we just have release notes with like simple points.
Yes.
The name of new feature, but maybe I could add to it like one sentence, two sentences, how it can be used, or maybe even a screenshot or something. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we will see. I need to shape it up, and I want to do it like during this holiday season, because I would have some days to work on. So that's our lessons learned from 1 year of using this product development process. It's actually it's based on Shape Up by Basecamps, but we adapted many things
Or
to
loosely.
our needs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think one of the also like takeaways is the lean manufacturing. Like keep improving the process, so make it
Yes.
really effortless, so that you
Yeah,
can
like
ship effortlessly
this-
45 versions of app.
This 5 weeks cycles like really work great for us, and we have retrospection every 5 cycles, and we see it's a sweet spot, because every retrospection we had, it took us like between 50 and 65 minutes, and we always have like 4 or 5 improvements. And before we used to have like retrospection that took like 2 or 3 hours, and we had like 15 improvements to implement, and it was like whoa, too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we kind of forgot that we have to be more agile, and actually it's fun to be agile. It's fun to improve things, and just things are happening in the background. Things are happening automatically. Like it's kind of funny that even in our small team, this whole concept of improving the process, which sounds really boring, is fun.
Yeah, like we actually didn't touch the horizon expanding month concept, but I think that's the topic for another episode in the future.
We're already 15 minutes in, so we should.
Yeah, because like Radek is fighting, constantly fighting that we have a constant effort, appetite available for improving this process, like. Because when we stop improving, we stop just ship. When we switch to just shipping, after a couple of months, we will have the process broken.
Yeah,
because it has to be maintained to be efficient.
Yes, completely. So like that's why it is fun. It is fun to see that, and it is fun to be iterating on that. And really, that's why I want to repeat that. Stop. Every quarter, stop, and just at least and reevaluate. But also, what Rafal said, incorporate constant improvements in the process. So like every week, basically, you get better. Like every week, there is some improvement. Like just today, we discussed some of the improvements we want to do in this podcast, production process. So like every time there is this a repeating process, see if there is something that some low hanging fruit, as they call it, something that can be quickly fixed, can be improved, can be automated.
And for this, MightyFriday is perfect, because very often, like developers, if they have something that annoyed them in the process, like for example, CI machine that prepares builds is kind of broken or is inefficient in some way, they fix it on MightyFriday.
Yeah, and we just bought a Mac Mini. Speaking of getting back to the gear and the geeky stuff, we bought a Mac Mini, M1 Mac Mini, as our Mac server for our CI and for our like really developer needs, and it's glorious. It works very well, and it improved build times of our apps like 3-4 times fold. So this way, when they do something to fix, very quickly there is a new app, and we can test the new version right away. So again, it's these short improvements of time that you don't have to wait half an hour for the new build to ship, but 10 minutes instead. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's very important because we want to introduce like native desktop apps like for Windows and Mac, and it would add a time for this build server to build those every time there is new change. Yeah. So
Spoiler alert, I'm already using the Mac app on my Mac. It still needs some tweaking and some working, so Radek is on it, but it's very promising. So stay tuned.
Yeah. So I can't wait for 2022 because we have many exciting things to work on and to ship.
On all fronts, really, like on the product front, on marketing front, on business front, like lots of good things. And I teased some announcements which we haven't done December, and I decided not to do them. So just for all our users, stay tuned. We will have smaller announcements in January, and then a big announcement in the beginning of February, as we celebrate our 15th anniversary, 15 years of Nozbe in business. So there will be cool things in the pipeline. Really, next year is going to be something.
Yeah, really can't wait. And I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
Oh yes,
we will talk about my iPad Mini next time. I will gather more thoughts.
Yes.
So don't worry. All right. So thanks for listening, guys, and remember, tomorrow. What day is it, Michael?
It's Friday, and it's a Mighty Friday.
Yeah, so remember to do your weekly review, plan priorities for next week, and learn something new or improve something in the process that you are in your workflow. That way you will have a great weekend and great next week, because on Monday you can jump on to your priority list and start getting things done. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to help support this podcast either by sharing it with a friend or checking out our Nozbe Teams app. So I think that's it for today. Say goodbye, Michael.
So just house cleaning before we wrap it up. And in 2 weeks we will not see you. So Merry Christmas. We are taking a Christmas break. So we will see you in 4 weeks. We are taking a Christmas break, and I think everyone deserves it. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being part of this show, for making this show constantly reaching more people. So we are very, very grateful. Thank you so much. And if you could rate us on iTunes in the meantime, because you have some more time, it would be fantastic. So see you in 4 weeks. At the beginning of we will be recording on the January 13th. Which is my daughter's birthday, and then we will ship on the January 14th. And until then, make your new plans, plan your new year, use Nozbe to do it, and make the 2022 your best year ever.
Yep. This episode has not been created in the office, because in Nozbe there is no office. Your hosts were Michael Sliwinski and Rafał Sobolewski. All the links and show notes you can find on nooffice.fm/32. The whole production process of this episode has been coordinated in a project in a Nozbe Teams app. Control is good, but trust, transparency, and asynchronous communication are so much better. Thank you, and see you in 4 weeks. Remember to have a Mighty Friday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Don't cram 20 people on Zoom.
Fluorescent lighted office all day long. You probably are going to work from home.